From a Knight to a Lady. Episode 40. I know. Anika said so too. I don't have an eye for such things.
It'll probably take another 50 years before my commander understands this sort of thing.
Even after wearing nothing but dresses, they still all look the same to me. I can't see any difference. It makes no sense. I'm wearing one of the dresses he bought for me, so why did he leave without a word? Did I choose the wrong one to wear?
The castle's going to be quiet now.
Oh. Yes, you're right. They've finally left.
I see.
Father.
Luci.
May I return to the capital?
The capital?
Yes. I can't just stay here if I want to get my revenge. I feel much better now. At least now, if I face him, I won't lose my sense of reason and become agitated.
Whatever you want, Luci. That's right.
I still don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have to move forward.
You're going to lose everything. Just like Estelle did. Purchasing all the new dresses in the capital caused quite the stir amongst the nobles. It seems like you cherish Lady Aydin a lot.
Did you ask to share a carriage, just so you could badmouth my fiancé? You and I are not that close.
Ha ha. I think your honesty is something to be admired. You see, I don't have the courage to be so honest. I'm interested in Lady Aydin.
What?
She reminds me of someone.
Was it really necessary to say you're interested in Lady Aydin directly to my face? Don't you think that's rude?
I just thought I should let you know in advance that I was interested in her. Because that's the polite thing to do.
Huh. If you wanted to be polite, you would have kept your mouth shut.
What am I supposed to do if you keep running your mouth like that? I could expose you when we get to the capital, and yet you seem completely indifferent. Expose me? I just followed Lady Aydin because I wanted to see her, right?
Why are you so interested in her?
I already told you, she reminds me of someone. I like people like that. The kind of person who fights and struggles to survive when their back is against the wall. Lady Aydin is that kind of a person. She reminds me exactly of Estelle. I really liked Estelle, Duke Zedekiah.
I didn't expect you to blurt out Estelle Schubert's name so brazenly.
So you see, I am very curious about Lady Aydin.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Did you ride in the same carriage as me just to tell me all of this?
As expected, it looks like you don't know anything. I find it very strange. You seem to think about Estelle quite a bit. even though she's just a dead knight of a fallen nation. Besides, Estelle, who became a star in the sky, would feel disgusted and nauseated if she knew that you were thinking of her. You see, I'm one of the people who knows Estelle best.
Stop the carriage. Duke Louis Luke is getting off. The capital is still some ways away, but our relationship is not so close that we can continue seeing each other face to face. I'm sure you understand.
Well, it seems that way.
I once heard a very believable story about a lieutenant who betrayed his commander. So I ask you, why on earth would you say that Estelle Schubert hated me? You would never say something without a reason. Did you say that because you thought it would hurt me? If that's the case, then it seems like you're very interested in the fact that Estelle dislikes me. I'll be going now. I really hate him. How dare he talk about her like that? She was wearing it when she came to see us all. The dress that I thought would suit her best. What's wrong with me? Why am I thinking about that at a time like this?
Episode 41. Have you heard the news? Apparently Lady Aydin is returning to the capital.
Really? If she has gone mad, she should be confined to her estate. How can she bear to show her face after such indecent behavior?
My thoughts exactly. First the palace lake, then the palace balcony. Maybe she'll jump from one of the palace towers next?
Speaking of Lady Aydin, I heard that she's also known as the Morning Star of Jansgar.
I've also heard that. It's true.
Who on earth came up with such a childish nickname? Well, boys will be boys, I guess. Well, you know. The one who gave her that nickname was none other than His Majesty, the King. Lady Rain, I think it would be wise for you to be more careful with your remarks in the future. We wouldn't want something scandalous to happen at your tea party, would we?
Oh.
Let's keep this conversation just between us. You all understand, right? Ha ha ha. As expected, Lady Lower is as wise as she is beautiful. The complete opposite from Lady Aydin.
That's right.
Oh my. You flatter me. You dim-witted fools. The aristocrats can't stop themselves from speaking ill of someone. They haven't changed at all. It was the same on the day I first saw Lady Aydin. I still remember how they gossiped back then too.
I heard that a jewel mine was discovered on their estate and they used that money to move to the capital. How lucky, they'll become filthy rich in no time. What's more, the deceased countess was from Ursia and they say that she left the Duke of Haint to marry the count.
Oh my, how come? I can't help but remember it clearly. It was the very first time I'd ever set foot in the imperial palace. I'll never forget how everyone seemed to hold their breath when she appeared. That was the day she got the nickname the Morning Star of Jansgar. It's true that what was being said of her then are still being said now. I was thinking, how about inviting Lady Aydin to our tea party?
What?
She's to be a future duchess anyway. And she'll need help if she's going to continue residing in the capital. The garden of the lower family is beautiful even in the winter.
Duke Hain's estate.
It's just as you predicted. There is no way that gems could have been mined from only one mountain. The reason why these mountains are called the Twin Mountains is because they are so similar.
This means that Count Aydin hid the finest jewels that were buried in the other mountain. Pigeon blood. The days saved Lady Aydin on the Twin Mountains. I discovered it by accident.
Oh. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I'm okay. A gem this size is big enough to support half the baronies in the kingdom. Could it be that perhaps the crown prince had hidden it on the count's land?
That's not very likely. Knowing the crown prince, he isn't someone who would easily hand over such wealth to others. Don't you think?
True. But if this is not the hidden property of the crown prince, that means that Count Aydin is hiding this not only from the crown prince, but also Ram Duke Idris as well. Fred Idris isn't the type of person to pass up such wealth. So, Count Aydin hid the truth from even those who paved the way for him to ascend to power. The Count is one of those with the least significant presence among the Crown Prince's faction. A bunch of delusional fools who think they are brilliant. How would a meek man such as the Count dare to hide such a shocking secret from them? It's true, sometimes the most dangerous place can also be the safest. And as his power grew, naturally he needed a place to hide the secret. That's why the Count deliberately didn't destroy the monsters there.
That seems right, sir.
It seems he has a lot of things to hide. Like father, like daughter.
Pardon?
It's nothing. However, while Count Aydin has always been quiet, his daughter always captured people's attention. She is so beautiful that people often call her the morning star of Jansgar. Although their family doesn't have much power, Lady Aydin has been said to be a formidable woman in the right dress. And then there are the rumors about her fling with the crown prince. What could be better gossip than that? What if this was all the Count's attempt to draw attention away from their family? Or maybe it was a play to hide the true nature of the jewel mine. Also, are these claims confirmed to be true? This investigation into the Count is truly unbelievable. Abandoning his child and taking his own life. Is it possible to abandon your child so easily unless you only see them as a tool? But looking at it like this, it seems to make sense. Count Aydin thought the only way to handle his own incompetence was to run away, rather than caring for his child as a parent. Count Aydin's actions are closer to fulfilling his obligations as an aristocrat. It must have been a twisted and loveless relationship. And Lady Aydin must have been disillusioned by this relationship and thought that it truly didn't matter if she lived or died. Yes, that's gotta be it. Her life is not a waste, and her reckless behavior just became her way of life.
Sorry?
She must have been so hurt, and yet she managed to overcome it all on her own.
Sir. What are you talking about? I don't understand at all.
You fool. Do you have any idea how great of a sin you've committed?
Father, please forgive me. I was just trying to scare her. It's true. I didn't know it would go that far.
Scare her?
Yes, Father.
That's why I said Duke Louis Luke there. Shut your mouth, you insolent fool. You shouldn't have done any of that in the first place. That's why you said Duke Louis Luke there? What nonsense are you talking about?
Father, you don't understand. Lady Aydin, she attacked me. It's the truth. At the autumn banquet, she cursed at me and kicked me. She dared to touch a member of the imperial family. But I didn't take issue with it and just endured it.
Why should I believe you?
You can ask Lady Aydin. I just thought I had to remind her of the dignity of the royal family. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so I handled it on my own.
Even so, I cannot condone your actions, Tamir.
I shall apologize to Count Aydin myself. Please, I beg your forgiveness. No. It's all rig. No. It's all rig. Uncle. I was a fool to have let this happen. But please believe me, I didn't really expect them to kill those merchants and knights.
Your Highness.
Truly wasn't my intention. Please, don't do this.
It's all right. Lucy is safe. Your Majesty, please tell the Crown Prince to stop. Stand up, Tamir.
I'm not going to make a big deal about what I've heard today. I think that's a very reasonable judgment, Your Majesty.
My son has committed a grave sin against your daughter. However, if the situation were to escalate, I fear Lady Aydin would have been more seriously injured. Hasn't she recently become engaged to Duke Hain? So let's let bygones be bygones. Return to your home and inform Lady Aydin.